This is a video from eSkills Zone. For more videos, notes, and certificates, please visit www.eskillszone.com.
Hello and welcome. Hi viewers. Today in this video we will learn the type declaration characters in GW Basic Programming Language. In GW Basic, type declaration characters represent the type of variable. Following type declaration characters are recognized in GW Basic. So we are gonna learn today type declaration characters. It is also called data types in other words. So we're going to learn how many types of type declaration characters or data types in GW Basic Programming Language. First of all, we will discuss the character. Here we will type $, and then we will type the type of variable, and then in previous video we have learned about the definition of variable, that variables are named memory location or memory cells which is used to store some value and input data, and it gives us the computational result during the program execution. And then memory required. So viewers, whenever we talk about memory, then you should be clear about that the memory, the space which is required for the amount of bytes stored in the RAM, because whenever we use variable, it needs some memory, and the size of the memory which can be utilized on the RAM will be described and written over here. So first of all, we will discuss the character $, and the type of variable name is string variable. So we call it a string variable, the $, and it is represented by the $. The name of the variable is string variable. And if we give the example of it, then we will type like name $. A name can be any name like Alistair, Mark, George, John, Sean. Any name can be there, like we can type over here Robert. So we have just put a name with $. Whenever we need to use any variable, a string variable, then we need to put a $sign at the end of that variable name. It's very necessary because this is how GW Basic compiler understands that it's a string variable. So the $sign must be there at the end of the variable name, and the memory required for it is the string length. Whatever the length you mention, like if you type name Alistair, then it will take about the string length. Like here we can see how many characters are there: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So 8 bytes will be there used to store this name Alistair. Now we will discuss the second character. It is the %sign, and the type of variable is integer variable. And the example we can give over here, like marks, the marks obtained by a student in exams, and it is represented by the %sign. So we can put a %sign at the end of the variable name. It's very important to note down and to mention. If you don't type the %sign, then it cannot be identified that the type of the variable is whether character or string variable or integer variable. The integer variable is always identified by the %sign, and the string variable is always identified by the $sign, and all these two symbols should be mentioned at the end of the variable name, like the example we have given over here. And the memory required for it is 2 bytes for integer variable. So for integer variable 2 bytes, and for string variable, string length will be there So the third character we're gonna learn today is the single precision. So we'll type its name, it's single precision variable. We'll type right below it variable, and the example can be average AVG. We will give the average AVG for average, and we'll put the sign of exclamations for the identification of single precision variable. Viewers, you can see that we have put dollar sign, percentage sign, and sign of exclamation at the end of the variable name. So it's very important to note that all these symbols should be mentioned at the end of the variable. I'm repeating again and again so that you people have a clear understanding of it and should not be confused about it. And the size of memory will be 4 bytes for single precision variable. Now we'll discuss the last type, and it is called the double precision variable. So we'll type the name of it. Its name is double precision variable. So there are total 4 types in GW basic programming language. There are 4 types of characters, 4 types of variables are there, and it is represented by the hash sign like this way. And the total memory required for it will be 8 bytes. So viewers, this is the whole chart I have just mentioned in front of you guys. Why I use this the layout of the basic programming language, so that you people have an idea how the layout looks like. And I always like to give the definitions and the explanations of each and every topic right here in the layout. You can give it in the Word document as well, but I actually like to use this layout for you guys so that you can always have the people should get familiar with all that layout of the PC Basic, because if you want to do the programming in the IDE, integrated development environment of this language, then you should be familiar of it and used to of it, how it looks like. So now the second topic of discussion of today is types of variables. So first we have discussed the type declaration characters. Now we're going to learn the types of variables. So we'll discuss it right over here and type the name. Like first we will give the heading of it, types of variables. So how many types are there? There are 2 basic types of variables. There are 2 basic types of variables. First one is called the numeric variable, and the second one is called, we'll type variables, and the second one is called the string variables. Can store strings of characters. So viewers, you should be clear about that whenever we talk about the word character in GW basic programming language, then it's a string, and a string is a combination of characters, and all these characters are the alphabet characters from A to Z, whether it can be a upper A to Z or a lowercase a to Z. So whenever we talk about strings, the definition of string is this group of characters. And what are the characters? The characters are the alphabetic characters, like from A to Z. That can be either uppercase A to Z or lowercase a to Z. Now we'll discuss the definition of numeric variables right over here. And numeric variables are defined as numeric variables can store numeric values. The numeric values include both floating point number. We will discuss later on what is the meaning of floating point numbers. First we should write the definition of it. and whole numbers. So there are basically two types of numeric variables. One is called the floating point numbers, and the other one is the whole numbers. If we don't specify both floating if we don't specify the type of numeric variable in GW basic, then GW basic considers it as single precision. So this is how it takes it when if we don't specify the type of numerical variable, GW is considered it as single precision. Single precision variables can accurately handle numbers up to 6 significant digits. So it is important to note that if we don't specify the type of numeric variable, GW basically considers it as single precision, and single precisions variables can accurately handle numbers up to 6 significant digits. However, it cannot handle 7th significant digit accurately. So it's very important to note, viewers, each and every single word and single line. It's very important to note if you're gonna learn this typical GW basic programming language, then your concepts should be clear about each and every point and single line, single word. If more accuracy is desired, like if more accuracy is desired, then what should we do? We should rather use double precision. So it's very simple. So I'm going to repeat the whole definition of it. The numeric variables can store numeric values. Numeric values include both floating point numbers and whole numbers. If you don't specify the type of numeric variable, GW basically considers it as single precision. Single precision variables can accurately handle numbers up to 6 significant digits. However, it cannot handle 7 significant digits accurately. If more accuracy is desired, we should rather use double precision. So this is the whole definition of the numeric variables, and now we're gonna learn more about the string variables. So we will first type the heading of it, string variables, and now we're gonna type about it. String can be defined as a sequence of characters enclosed in double precision. Enclosed in double quotations. So the string variable can be defined as a sequence of characters enclosed in double quotations. A string variable can, moreover, therefore store sequence of characters. So whenever the word characters appear or discussed, viewers, you should take the meaning of the characters or the alphabetic characters which are from A to Z, whether it can be a capital uppercase, or a lowercase, small abc, or capital A to Z characters, 26 characters. The nature of character string is entirely different from the nature of numeric and string data. So it's important to note that the nature of character string is entirely different from the nature of numeric and string data. In BASIC, whenever we type or write or hear BASIC, it means that beginners all purpose symbolic instruction code language, GLB basic language. A dollar sign is followed by the name of string variable. So we have discussed earlier that the dollar sign should be mentioned at the end of the string variable. It's very important because this is how GW basic compiler identifies that it is a string variable. So dollar sign must be there. Basic and other languages. One more important thing I'm going to discuss over here. Use different formats for storing numeric and string data. So I'm going to clear over here that it's numeric and numeric values mistakenly typed. So in BASIC, a dollar sign is followed by the name of string variable. BASIC and other languages use different formats for storing numeric and string data. For storing numeric and string data. So we cannot perform the same set of operations. Cannot perform same set of operations on strings that we can perform on numeric values. So it's obvious that we cannot perform same set of operations on string, because whenever we use string variables, then the calculation cannot be performed only because it contains A to Z 26 characters, alphabetic letters. But when we use the numerical values, the numeric values are always from 0 to 9, and since they are numeric values, then we can perform calculations on them. And for example, string cannot be added. Now the same thing I'm going to tell over here, like for example, strings cannot be added, subtracted, multiplied, or divided. So none of the mathematical calculations can be performed on string variables. It's very important to note, because it contains A to Z alphabets, 26 characters, so no chance of calculation is there in string variables. There are some other operations that can be performed on strings, such as concatenation. We will discuss later on. It's a very important topic to note. Concatenation and comparisons. Both these operations can be performed on string variables, but keep it in your mind that addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division cannot be performed at all. So in the end, we're going to close over here today. Like, be very careful. Important to note. Be very careful when making conversions between integer, single precision, and double precision variables, because each and every specific variable is used for specific type of variable. Otherwise you may lose accuracy accidentally. So it's very important to note that whenever we are gonna use the type of variables, then we should be sure about it that if we want to use string variables, then we should use the dollar sign, and if we want to use the numeric variables, we should use the percentage sign. So this is how GWBasic compiler can easily understand and identify the type of variable. And if you want to use single precision, double precision, then always the sign of exclamation should be used with the single precision variable, and sign of hash should be used double precision variable, because the type of variables matters. So the type of variable should always be clearly mentioned in the program. That's so that no chance of any kind of problem may arise. So that's all for today. We have learned today type declaration characters, or we can call it data types, and we have discussed today types of variables. Number one, numeric variable and the string variables in detail. So that's all for today, and take care and thanks for watching.